Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Hooty Hoo KSU football podcast. What's that? Another Victorycast? 3 weeks in a row? What is happening here at Kennesaw State University in the Football Owls? Another win. Another win. We are just on a roll. So let's get into it a little bit, see what happened. Kennesaw State finished winning and beating Middle Tennessee State 24-16. A fascinating game for sure. Another electric environment at the Nest. Definitely the crowd. I mean, it's great. It really is. Just love to see it. Just love to see it. Crowd looked terrific. They were involved. Another sellout. Just everything you could ask for with this program and what's happening right now. Just a lot of good momentum. I told you on Friday when I dropped the last one that I just felt good about things, you know? I just felt good. And it's just nice. I mean, it's just nice to have something to talk about. You're not talking about a team that's getting waxed 50-0 every single week, that when they show up to play, you know they have no chance to win. It's just such a better product. I mean, so many different ways. Again, I don't want to harp on this, and I'm really going to try to make this the last time that I say it, but for anyone who was still disappointed with the decision to let Bohannon go and hire Jerry Mack, I mean, the proof is here. You know, it had to happen. I'm glad it happened. I hate the way it happened, but it had to happen. You know, and look at the result. Kennesaw State now 3-2, more wins than they've had their first 2 years in Division I. The first time they've won 3 in a row since 2022 when they were Division II. The first time that they start the season in conference play with a win since 2002 or 2022. I mean, just all positive. I mean, I just love it. I just love it. So let's look at it real fast. I'm not going to talk about Middle Tennessee State because I don't care about Middle Tennessee State University. I care about Kennesaw State University. This week, again, just like last week, off to a fast start. Just a really fast start. So Odom, 11 for 17, 162 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Coleman Bennett did not get into the end zone, nor did any running back this week, but that doesn't mean they weren't effective. Coleman Bennett, 12 rushes, 101 yards. Just another great performance by a running back when you need to move the chains. Chase Belcher, 1 catch, 53 yards, touchdown. Gabriel Binyard, 4 catches, 41 yards, touchdown. Jared Bullock, 3 catches, 34 yards, touchdown. I mean, I just, awesome. Just awesome. Turnovers by the defense, 2 turnovers. My new favorite first name in the history of the world. There's a lot of ones out there, but man, 5 Henderson, 1 turnover himself. Another turnover was a fumble recovery. Just 5 Hamilton. Love you, buddy. Love you, buddy. Love the name. It is spectacular. Scoring went pretty basic. So 21 points in the first quarter. Did not score another point until the fourth quarter. Now, that was a field goal. So it's interesting with that, though, this time. And I even tweeted yesterday. I think it's called tweeting. It's on X now, not Twitter. So did I X something? I don't know. Anyways, I tweeted out yesterday that hopefully we learned our lesson from last week. Last week, as a reminder, we get up big, and then we just kind of play flat and kind of take our foot off the gas a little bit. Now, this one is an interesting one. You're up 21-3. As you're going into near the end of the second quarter. Defense, again, just another great defensive performance. Could not be more pleased. This game was different because you never really seemed to be threatened too much by Middle Tennessee State. It got a little interesting in the end, but it didn't really shake your confidence in what the team was going to do. Sure, it'd be good to put a team away. Absolutely. Throw up 2 more touchdowns in the second half of the game. Ball game over. Rocking chair kind of game done. This wasn't that. This was 21 points. Middle Tennessee State scores a touchdown near the half. You're looking at 21-10. Middle Tennessee State doesn't score another touchdown until the fourth quarter to make it 24-16. Or excuse me, 21-16. So that's kind of a hairy moment there. You're like, uh-oh, what could happen? And sure enough, Kennesaw State comes right down the field, kicks the field goal to respond to that touchdown by Middle Tennessee State, at which point the defense wasn't giving anything else up, and ball game. I mean, it's really that simple. Kind of just cruising there. So again, we look at the saying that I brought up last week, which was lose by a lot, lose by a little, win by a little, win by a lot, right? We're kind of in that win by a little area right now, but we're winning. The next step, you got to learn how to win, and this team is learning how to win. They're learning how to win by going up early and then eating some clock up, playing good defense and eating clock up. That team could not. Middle Tennessee State was really struggling to move the ball on Kennesaw State, and it showed. In Kennesaw State, listen, this is better than I could have hoped for. This is a dangerous team right now in Conference USA. It's a dangerous team. Now, we have to see what Odom's injury is like. Went out in the fourth quarter with a shoulder injury, so we got to get some news about that. I've just searched everything. I can't find any updates, so we'll see. We also got a bye week before we play Louisiana Tech on Thursday, October 9th at 7 p.m. Let's check it out. Prime time. Everybody get there. Another home game. Sell it out. Make it loud. Let's show the country what Kennesaw State football is all about. So, Odom with the injury, yes, that can be a concern depending on how long it goes. But if it's nothing significant, we're okay. If it is something that's going to take additional time, we have a solid backup quarterback who was the former starter, Dexter Williams. So it's not like all hope is lost. You definitely lose the vertical game a little bit going back to Williams, but I feel like this coaching staff is able to take advantage of Dexter Williams' skill set and his talents, which he does have, and experience, to still be successful. I think that this Louisiana Tech game may be one of the harder games of the season, so I'm not going to really preview that right now. I'll preview that as we get closer to the game itself on Thursday the 9th. But really excited. I mean, just really excited with this. 3-2. I mean, looking at the big picture here, in a great position to do something. Your rivals are looking terrible right now, just getting wrecked right now, which I'll go through in a few minutes. Couldn't be happier. Could not be happier with the skill positions, the offensive line, the defensive line, the secondary, linebackers, running backs, wide receivers, you name it. Everybody is just doing great. Still areas to grow, such as third downs. We were 1 of 8 on third downs and 0 of 1 on fourth down. So third down conversions, absolutely. Let's improve that stat for sure. I mean, that's kind of a given. Middle Tennessee State, for example, though, was 5 of 14 on third down and 1 of 3 on fourth down. Defense, again, played great. We weren't really up against it a lot, but when it did matter, when it was third down, we need to convert those third downs. Don't have to convert them all, but you need to convert those third downs, keep drives alive, eat up more clock, etc. Yeah, I mean, just love it. I mean, I just love it. It's just good to be here and talking about the product that's out there and how hard this team's playing, how well they're being coached, the positions the coaches are putting them in to be successful. It's just all working out really well. So I'm really excited to see kind of where this season goes and where it takes us, because there's a lot of potential here. So looking at the current standings right now in Conference USA, so Louisiana Tech is in first place. Western Kentucky is right there with them because they have 2 conference wins. Delaware, Kennesaw State both have a singular win. And then it kind of falls like this. Jacksonville State, FIU, New Mexico State, Missouri State, Liberty, Liberty all the way down there, 0-1, Middle Tennessee State, UTEP, and finally Sam Houston rounding out the bottom. We do not play Sam Houston, unfortunately, and we do not play Delaware, I also think, unfortunately, because I think we match up really well against them. But there are definitely wins, and now you start kind of peeking ahead a little bit. Now you kind of start paying attention to that schedule because now you know what you're working with. So I look at the schedule, and again, I think Louisiana Tech is probably the most talented team that they'll see the rest of the year. I'm very comfortable saying that. And Louisiana Tech yesterday beat UTEP 30-11. UTEP is a mess, so we'll see kind of how that turns out. But basically, Louisiana Tech. Okay, so that comes up on the 9th. At home, we'll see what happens there. At FIU, I like the chances. I like Kennesaw State's chances. I like how they travel on the road. That's a potential. That's a win. Potential. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. UTEP at home, that's a win. New Mexico State at New Mexico State is tough. That's a good bit of travel. We'll see. At Jacksonville State, November 15th. Jacksonville State's not playing very well. So we'll see. Missouri State at home. Again, that's a long travel. That Missouri State team is pretty good. But they lost to Western Kentucky yesterday, 27-22. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. But I like them at home. Kennesaw State at home against Missouri State. And then at Liberty, who knows? But Liberty has not looked very good. So, it's there. The 6 wins, we're already halfway there, which I could not be more excited about. Defending the home, your home field advantage, taking advantage of it, getting the crowd excited. That place is going to be rocking against Louisiana Tech. So let's see what Louisiana Tech can bring to the table. If we have our full complement of players, everybody's healthy. Oh yeah, we're gonna be in a game. Kennesaw State is dangerous. Kennesaw State is a real team in Conference USA. So going back a year, even when I started this, I couldn't make that statement. I couldn't say that, but I can now. They're a dangerous team, and with the passing game complementing the rushing game, offensively, just a lot happening there. There comes a time, and it will if this process continues itself, there comes a time where if you're scoring that easily in the first quarter, if you can put 21, 28 points up in the first quarter, you can keep going. You can keep pushing, and really put some numbers up on teams, kind of relax in the second half, maybe bring some backups in so they get some game time experience. But that's kind of a pipe dream right now. Really happy. I'm really happy. So basically my schedule is going to be real simple. Is next week I'll do a preview probably on Sunday. I'll jump on this week if I need to. If any injury news comes out with Odom or if anything's going on, I'll jump on and do a quick one real fast this week. But the next time I'll be on will be a preview of the Louisiana Tech game. So that will probably be next Sunday is what I think, just because I don't want to guarantee something during the week like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I certainly don't want to miss the opportunity to preview that game. So I'll do a preview next Sunday, release it Sunday night, Monday for Louisiana Tech that is taking place on the 9th. It's kind of a funny time with this schedule because you have that Thursday game on the 9th, and then the 21st is FIU, which I believe is a Tuesday. So kind of a funny schedule, but plenty of time to prepare for those teams. Having the bye week right now, great time. Great time for the bye week. Get everybody healthy and have the opportunity to get 2 weeks to prepare. I just want to see something I didn't even think about. Yes, Louisiana Tech also has a bye week before playing on Thursday against Kennesaw State. So we kind of are in the same boat with them to where they got 2 weeks to get healthy and prepared for this game, and as do we. So let's take advantage of it. Let's outcoach them. We have the home field advantage. Take advantage of it. Do something. So great third victory in a row. Great Victorycast. Thrilled to be in this position to be able to talk to you about this team right now. I'm going to now shift over to the overall perspective of college football and kind of what's going on right now. Again, I called it Separation Saturday when I hopped on here Friday night. to preview the Middle Tennessee State game. So definitely a separation Saturday for sure, and Friday for that matter. A lot of games, a lot of great games over this weekend. I mean, if you're just a football fan, then you were in heaven this weekend because there was games at every single moment on Friday night and then again on Saturday that every single window had a great game in it. They really did. There were close games. Of course, there's going to be blowouts, but a lot of the games were very competitive, coming down to the last few minutes. Just good stuff. I think I went 2-1 on the weekend. I didn't get my... Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. I went 3-1 because I called Kennesaw State, too. I think I said a touchdown difference, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I got the spread right as far as the score. I'm not nailing the score right, but the difference in points I'm getting right. So that's a positive, I guess. Again, I don't recommend gambling on anything, so please don't use this for any kind of guidance for that. I'm just a guy who knows nothing, who's making gut feeling decisions on how a game's going to go based on watching college football for a long time. So 3-1 on the weekend, I believe. I got Kennesaw State right. I got Alabama right. I got Ole Miss right. I lost the Penn State game because Penn State's ability to throw a forward pass apparently is very challenging. But I'm not a Penn State fan. I don't really care, to be honest with you, about Penn State. But yeah, I did get that one wrong. I thought that they would beat Oregon at home, and they did not. Shocking. I know. Penn State losing against a ranked team. When has that ever happened? All the time. So let's look at some of the results here. Florida State starts us off on Friday night, losing to Virginia, 46-38 in double overtime. I know that video of the crowd charging the field went kind of viral, and the wide receiver, my God, I mean, hope you're alive, buddy. In all seriousness, he is alive. It was released by the head coach of Florida State, Mike Norvell, that everybody was back safe, but that was scary. That was scary. I don't want to old man this and saying that, charging the field is dangerous or anything like that, but yikes, that could have been bad. I mean, that could have been really bad. So I'm glad everybody got out of there okay. About that game, I don't, listen, that game's easy to figure out. One team wanted it more than the other. One team who was probably more talented in Florida State shot themselves in the foot, turned the ball over a lot, and just, listen, Virginia's offense is the real deal, but I think the funny thing about that game and looking back at it was it seemed like Florida State was running the ball on offense pretty easily. And all of a sudden, it's like they get to like 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, and they're like, let's do a razzle-dazzle play, and those all backfired. So just kind of a weird place, kind of a weird game, Any of those upsets that you see, you definitely need the crowd to be in it right away. So you need something to happen for you right from the beginning if you're going to pull an upset. And Florida State played directly into that, They turned the ball over twice, I think, in the first quarter, gave up 14 points, had some bad penalties. It was all there for an upset right from the beginning. There's a moment, I can't remember if it's the second quarter or third quarter, where the quarterback for Virginia hurts his hand. Like, he can't throw the ball. He can't grip it. So Virginia, for some reason, keeps him in the game. I mean, I guess they knew. And decides just to run it at Florida State. Just 11 straight runs. Florida State had no answer for it. They could not stop the run, even if they knew it was coming, which is a bad sign going into next week's game against Miami, who probably has the best offensive line in the country. So good luck with that, Florida State. That's going to be a toughie. But Florida State drops from number 8 in the country, the polls came out just a few minutes ago, to number 18 in the country. Alabama, though, went to number 10, which is weird because Florida State beat Alabama, and it wasn't even close. So, listen, here's some advice about polls. Polls are there for conversation. They don't make sense. Don't try to make them make sense because technically it should be Virginia over Florida State, over Alabama, over Georgia. And, of course, that's not how it works out. So it just kind of, the polls are silly. Penn State losing at home only drops a few spots. Miami doesn't even play, and they drop a spot. So it's just, the polls are wild. It seems like they're made by people who don't actually watch the games a lot of times or use common sense. It will all get shaken out in the end. It always does for the most part. It will all get shaken out in the end. All the polls do is either make you happy or make you sad or something in the middle and give you something to talk to with your friends through the week. but they're just silly. That same night, though, that same Friday, Arizona State came back and beat ranked TCU 27-24 in a crazy game. How that game ended. Arizona State scored about 10 points with like 3 minutes left in the game. It was wild. It was, again, an amazing game, a great game. There was a late game that night with Houston. You had to come back against Oregon State, like 14 points at the very end to win the game. That was a late night game for those of you who are sleeping. Another wild finish. As we go on to the Saturday slate of games, which is just packed with games, we already talked about Oregon 30-24 over Penn State in double overtime. Drew Allard just threw a terrible pass to get picked off when it was Penn State's turn to be in possession of the ball in the second overtime. Just wild, that guy. It's a rough one. Bama 24-21 over UGA. Bama jumps on top pretty fast in the game. Halftime, I think it's 21-7 or 21-14. I don't really recall right this second because I was watching a lot of football yesterday, but Bama was moving the ball, and then the second half of that game was crazy. The second half of that game is just physical defense, just hitting, just a intense game. Bama kicks a field goal to go up 24. Georgia goes for it on 4th and 1 at like the 7-yard line. Which is, there's a lot of things with that play, actually. And it needs to go back to that third down play. The Gunnar Stockton comes around the end for Georgia on a third down run. Looks like he gets the first down. They don't give it to him. They say that he's a yard short, right? But it looks like he gets it when you go back and watch the replay. But instead of giving the officials and the replay officials the opportunity to review it, they quickly run a 4th and 1 play. This kind of a runaround basically behind the quarterback, a wide receiver, like a jet sweep. That was the word I was looking for. And it fails miserably. They lose 2 yards on the play. But first of all, why wouldn't you kick a field goal to tie the game if nothing else? Okay. Secondly, why are you such a hurry? I mean, someone has to be saying, listen, I think we might have gotten a first down there. But instead of even listening to that, we're going to go with this razzle-dazzle play. Again, it's almost like the Florida State thing I was talking about earlier. Even though they were running it just right up the middle at that point against Bama, I just, that was a strange ending to that game. Georgia can't make the comeback. Bama continues to get first downs, eat up the clock. The Georgia player that really helped Bama secure the game decides, as the play is over on a 3rd or 4th and 1 play where the quarterback sneaks it, he gets the first down. I mean, there's no question about that. But the weird thing is out of nowhere, the play's over. This Georgia player comes flying in like Superman on top of the pile, gets an unsportsmanlike conduct, another 15 yards. That's ball game. It's just bizarre behavior. Indiana comes back and beats Iowa 20-15 in a wild game. I really thought when watching it, Iowa had this one. There was a big pick near the game as the game's kind of concluding. The kicker, who's really good, shanks a kick, and then Indiana gets the ball and throws a long touchdown pass, I think 51 yards. The next time Indiana gets the ball, which is one of the funnier plays I'd seen yesterday, they're around the 50, and the quarterback snaps the ball and just runs backwards for a safety to end the game. The quarterback apologized after the fact for ruining the spread for some people, which is just a funny comment. I mean, if you don't think these guys know what the spread is or the over-under on games, you're kidding yourself. They all know what it is. Georgia Tech, Wake Forest. Georgia Tech beats Wake Forest 30-29 to remain undefeated. Now, you want to talk about getting hosed? Holy cow, did Wake Forest get robbed. I don't say that very often with refs because depending on your leanings or who you're rooting for, you're usually not going to point out many flaws with refs. I have no love for Wake Forest. I mean, I was there. I watched the Kennesaw State game, which they should have won that game, but whatever. 3rd and 5. Wake Forest snaps the ball. there is a defender for Georgia Tech that is clearly over the line. Like, he jumps across the line. They snap the ball as he's kind of going backwards. The quarterback thinks he has a free play, as most of the times that you do, and just throws a bomb, and it goes incomplete. They never called the flag. Now, if they called that play, if they called that offsides, as they should have, it would have been first down. Georgia Tech had no timeouts left. Georgia Tech loses that game. Wake Forest could have taken a knee, and the game was over. Time would have expired. But instead, they don't make the call. Wake Forest is forced to punt the ball. Georgia Tech comes down and scores to win the game. So, it went to overtime. I'm sorry. Georgia Tech comes down, ties the game, goes to overtime. Wake Forest decides to go for 2 at the end. Once they score a touchdown instead of just the extra point, they don't get it. I like the call, by the way. I like the call to go for 2 there, especially if you're the less talented team. But it should have never gotten to that. Georgia Tech should have lost that game, but oh well. The ACC refs, they're incredible. Going back to that FSU game, there's this moment in double overtime. I don't know if anybody caught this, but Virginia scores first. They have the ball first in overtime. And when you get to double overtime, you have to go for 2 points. You can't kick an extra point. Virginia runs the field goal team out there to kick an extra point. They score a touchdown. They're going to kick an extra point. And, like every play clock's going. All of a sudden, someone tells them, hey, guys, you can't kick an extra point. You got to go for 2. And so they run the field goal team off and bring the offense back on. That whole thing, they never started the play clock. They never turned the play clock on. So Virginia's given a free play, basically. It would have been delay a game, push it back 5 more yards. Now, who knows what happens? And also, Florida State has to score a touchdown, which they did not do, and go for 2 to win that game. So I don't think that play really made as much of an impact as the Wake Forest game. That Wake Forest decision by the officials is insane to me. That it just should never happen. That's really stealing a win away from a team, and that's just tough. Duke 38, Syracuse 3. Woo boy. Now, what is this? Is Clemson that bad? Or did Syracuse not know how to come down from a big win? Who's to say, right? One of the hardest things you can do in football is try to compare teams, wins and losses, to other teams. It just really is tough because you don't know matchups. You just don't know, injuries and schemes and all this stuff, preparation. It's so hard to compare that a team who lost to this team is better than this. You just can't make that argument because every single team and every single game is so individualized. But Duke laying the wood to Syracuse at Syracuse is really something. Same thing, Cincinnati 37, Kansas 24. Kansas is at home, favored, and just got shelled by Cincinnati, who's a fine team. Kansas State 34, University of Central Florida 20. Kansas State is a bad football team. Now, maybe they found something, but that's not a good football team. That should never happen. That team I've watched multiple times this year. Army just dominated that team. How in the world is Central Florida losing so badly by 14 to Kansas State? Wow. One of my happier moments on Saturday, Virginia Tech. Listen, I'm not a Virginia Tech fan. I respect the program. I respect the fans. I think they're great fans. I respect it all, right? I mean, I think Virginia Tech is just one of those teams that's been pretty consistent. I keep doing that. It's pretty consistent as a football powerhouse for over the years, and they haven't been back to what they once were under Beamer, and I don't know if they will. Who knows? Maybe they will. But just fired their coach. Looked terrible. I mean, just looked awful. Old Dominion just killed them. I mean, it's just was not going well. So Virginia Tech beats NC State 23-21. I love that win. I love a win where everything is against you. You've lost your coach. Everybody's doubting what's going to happen with this program, who's coming in to take over. Are all these players going in the transfer portal? What's going to take place? And sure enough, Virginia Tech gets the win over NC State, who is the most Jekyll and Hyde football team there is. Just a great win for Virginia Tech. So congratulations to the Hokie fans. They really deserved it. They really needed something to be happy about, so I'm very happy for them. Let's talk more Conference USA real fast. Old Dominion 21, Liberty 7. That puts Liberty at 1-4 on the season. Liberty. You got some problems. We'll see how that one changes or happens at the end of the season when we go to Liberty for the conclusion of the 25 football season. But I like what I'm seeing with Liberty, just playing terribly. Southern Miss 42, Jack State is 25. Again, Jack State's having a rough season too, not what they're supposed to be. So we will see kind of that game again becomes one that is winnable. I mean, both of those games are winnable, which going into the season, you would have said, I don't know. I mean, those teams seem to have a little bit more talent than Kennesaw State. I'm not sure if that's true. So we'll see kind of how that goes. Western Kentucky 27, Missouri State 22. Again, Western Kentucky, I think Western Kentucky is a good team. If not the best team in Conference USA that I have seen, that I've watched. So we'll see. Missouri, though, Missouri State, it's a good team. Watch out for that one. That's one that I think home field serves us well. I'm glad that we're playing them here and us not there. Louisiana Tech 30, UTEP 11. I think that right now Western Kentucky and Louisiana Tech are the cream of the crop in Conference USA, I think. Now, we will see when they match up against Kennesaw State. Now, we don't play Western Kentucky, but we do play Louisiana Tech in 2 weeks, so that will tell us exactly everything that we need to know. Everything that we need to know will be right there. Where are we, really? Are we the second or third best team? Are we the best team in the conference? I mean, there's going to be a lot of things to find out this season, but to even have that discussion right now and to even be thinking that way is just great. I mean, it's just bonus time, you know? Just wanted to get to a bowl game, and you start kind of peeking at that schedule, and you think to yourself, well, you know, if this goes here and this goes there, it could be more than just getting bowl eligible. So let's see, guys. There's a lot of football left to be played. Let's see what happens. I'm so happy right now for Kennesaw State. So happy for the fans, the coaches, the players. Just couldn't be more positive. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like and subscribe. Please go to the Etsy store, check it out, find something, purchase it. Everything that you purchase comes back to the store and back to the show to continue to improve the product that I put out there week in, week out. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're having a great Sunday, maybe early Monday if you're listening to this in the car. And please comment. Any feedback is much appreciated. I hope you are doing well. Hope you're in a good place because I'm in a great place. So thanks for joining me. I will talk to you in about a week. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.